Hey guys, welcome to the HVAC Diablo podcast. Today we have a great interview. His name is Mr. Max. How's it going, Max?
Hey Anthony, yeah, good. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Well, I know a little bit about your story. You're a business owner of three companies: plumbing business, lighting, and a brewery. Wow. Tell us how you got in the trade and what got you where you're at today.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so my dad's he's a tradie. Well, we call them tradies here in New Zealand, by the way. I should probably say that too. I'm in New Zealand, it's on the other side of the world. But so my dad's a solid plasterer. It's like sand and cement, and put it on like exterior walls and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So he thought, well, when I got kicked out of school, I started working in construction, but he wanted me to get into plumbing. He thought that would be a good trade that would always give me work, which he was right about. Um, so yeah, that's sort of how I picked plumbing for my life. Um, yeah,
So that's your first trade is
um,
plumbing, huh?
um, yeah. My first proper trade. I worked on construction sites when I left school when I was 15.
Hmm.
Um, and after a couple of years just sort of doing labouring jobs, I finally got a plumbing apprenticeship, which was a funny story. I think you listened to it before, but I can tell it quickly again. Because so I went to a party when I was like 17, and it was sort of like just one of those crazy parties that like Project X sort of thing. Just sort of like got the text message, and hundreds of people turned up at this poor person's house. And then anyway, the police turned up and dispersed the crowds, and a whole heap of stuff got broken up and down the street, which wasn't me, by the way. But I dropped my driver's license. So I had it in my little like pocket, your jeans pocket. It must have sort of fallen out when we were walking away. And then a police officer found it, and then turned up at my front door just before Christmas, and basically said he was going to lock me up if I didn't tell the truth and say where I was that night, and which I did. I told him I was there, but didn't have anything to do with all the mayhem that went on. And then he asked me what the hell I was doing with my life, and I said because some of my mates were plumbers, some of my older mates. I said I was thinking of, and what my dad had said. I was thinking about doing a plumbing apprenticeship, and then he said, "Oh, my mate's a plumber." So this police officer just lived on the next street up from where the party was, and his mate was the plumber.
Hmm.
And then I turned up there he basically gave me the phone number, and they said, "Yeah, sweet, turn up." And I turned up, and it was the house where the party was. So that was my start to my plumbing career, and did my apprenticeship and for like 4 years, and I got qualified when I was 21,
Hmm.
and sort of never looked back.
Wow. So you've been in the trade since
Yeah.
before almost got in trouble, huh?
Yeah. So been using my hands and tools and stuff since I was 15, and I'm
Hmm.
36 now. So 21 years, which is pretty like
Wow.
um, quite a long time now when I think back on it.
Hmm.
But it's given me a really good base for what I've gone to do with these other things. You said it wasn't the other companies I have. There's a beer company, which was a bit of fun,
Hmm.
called Thirsty Work. It was just basically we did a whole heap of work at this brewery in Auckland in New Zealand. So we did the plumbing. We did like their new bars, and did the plumbing fit outs, and then do the maintenance there, and then became quite uh, good mates. Well, became mates with the owner. And then one day I just sort of hit him up and said, "Oh, we should do a beer for tradies, for like um, blue collar workers." Is that
Hmm.
what do you guys call them over there? Like tradespeople or?
Blue collar workers. we're all in the trade, so we're just considered blue collar workers.
Yeah.
Tech,
So I put techs.
techs, you know,
Yeah,
HVAC,
yeah, yeah,
plumbers,
yeah,
electricians.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just grouped them into one thing over here and just call them tradies. Basically,
Mhm.
if you use like a tool, like a power tool, you're a tradie. Um, so yeah, the beer one. So yeah, pitched this idea to the owner, and he said, "Oh, that's a great idea." Like
That is
so
a
I
great
don't actually,
idea.
yeah, so I don't actually do the brewing, but I help with like the marketing and like the choosing the design and the flavor of the beer, and which was just a 5% lager, which
Hmm.
is what most tradies drink over here. Um, so I started sort of and it was contract brewing, so I just sort of saved up some money from a plumbing company, um, and yeah, just bought like a whole heap of beer, and then they packed it. I had to get the stickers and the cartons and everything. They just brewed it and canned it and packed it, and then I went around trying to sell it to alcohol shops here, and it was quite a lot of work. So I sort of it went all right, but I sort of buttoned off a little bit from doing that, and but the people still, like I built quite a good a small Instagram following, but quite a niche one, and the sales were doing quite well because the online stuff was on their website, and
Hmm.
then they basically, I mean, it's been 18 months since I started that. They just said, "Hey, your beer's doing all right, like, and we think you've got a better connection." I came up with a low carb version as well called Featherweight, but so it had firstly work in Featherweight, and they said your beer's actually doing all right. Like, do you want us to like distribute it nationwide, and we'll just do everything, um, and we'll give you a commission, and you can just do some, spend the money on marketing material. And I was like,
Hmm.
sounds good to me, because it was too hard to go. I could, like, working as a running a plumbing company and then trying to sell beer on. So yeah, so I was like, sweet, cool. So in the next couple of weeks, they're going to start distributing it nationwide, and I just get to do all the fun stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. I was getting to the green light. It's not a lighting company.
Oh,
Green
okay.
light. Yeah, but I'll tell you. I'll fill you in. I should probably rewind a little bit.
Sure.
So um, qualified when I was 21 and just worked for a whole heap of different companies um, around Auckland. Just different, different plumbing companies of all shapes and sizes, like maintenance, roofing, drainage. I think I must have worked for like close to 15 different companies over my sort of career as a
Hmm.
trades, like working as an employee.
Hmm.
I got a real good knowledge of the industry, and then when I started a company when I was 30, when I had my second kid, because I just needed more money and wanted to offer them more. So I started this plumbing company, and had it for 6 years now. I've got 7 staff and a couple contractors. So pretty busy. It's going really well. But this plumbing company's like been like um, it's opened a lot of doors, like giving me enough cash flow. Like I thought the plumbing when I started the plumbing company, I was like, man, this is it. I'm so happy. Like this is enough for me, and I'm just cool. This is going to be me. Um, and I'll just ride it, just work and ride off into the sunset. And I never thought of anything bigger than even starting another company. I never dreamed of doing another thing. I
Hmm.
think I read Elon Musk's book, and that dude started so many companies, and I was just like, maybe I can like do something else. But so this green light company um, comes out of and the firstly work comes out of me having enough cash flow that I can actually go and do other things.
Hmm.
So the green light comes this green light escrow. Are you familiar with escrow?
Escrow, like,
As in the system, it's like two parties and money goes in the middle, or like there's a like the for the green light for trades businesses, um, or well, like people use it when they buy a house, like they'll
definitely,
use
yeah.
their they'll use their lawyer as
Hmm.
their escrow account. So
Hmm.
that make sure all the paperwork's all sorted before they go and transfer the money. So it's an really old system, and so I got ripped off, right? So I don't know if that's why I've reached out to you, because I'm trying to learn how the US business model for tradespeople works. But so over here, a lot of the time we'll do the work and then invoice. So we turn up, do the plumbing job, and then invoice, but we won't invoice on the spot. I'll sort of get home and then invoice at night or the next day.
Right.
And then getting the payment is a real struggle here.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Because I've started talking to a lot of tradespeople. That's why I started the Amplified Trades Instagram, because I'm trying to talk to trade people over there because that's not a thing. Is that a thing over there, getting paid late?
It tends to happen sometimes. I know there's some legal stuff that falls in place when things aren't paid on time,
Yeah.
especially big money jobs can get into some, into the court or what have you. And, they do a lot of contracting, and signing. So, I mean, it all holds up in court at the end of the day, and, they're going to take something. So,
Yeah.
it's part of the business.
Yeah. But have you ever had late payments as a business owner, or?
It tends to happen.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, when stuff like that tends to happen, it goes into some legality where it
Yeah.
ends up in court, or, somehow
Yeah.
it comes through. But,
Yeah.
sometimes it does. Most of the time it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
pretty straightforward most of the time. So, yeah.
Yeah. Same thing here. That we have contracts and it will end up in court, but it's basically if they don't have the money here, you sort of don't get paid. So anyway, I got ripped off about $50,000 New Zealand. So I think it's probably about 25,000 US. And instead of getting angry, I learned from it and then just try to figure out a way how I could get the money in the middle. Because over here it'll be the same there. We ask for deposits on, say, if it's a bigger quoted job, but then it puts the homeowner in a tricky situation, because they're giving a tradesperson money, and they might not know this person. So sometimes the tradesperson can do a shit job basically, and then the homeowner. So anyway, I was like, how do we get the money in the middle, like escrow? And 2 years later now, I've basically got this software that's built around the trust account, and it works in the same fashion as a lawyer, but for about 1/20th of the price. So that's what Greenlight Escrow is. So it's like a tradesperson software, payment system. So to say you'll quote, to repair or replace an HVAC, and let's just say it's $5,000. Quote it, and then get the homeowner to put the money in the middle first, and then you go do the job. And then when you're finished, then you ask them to release the money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's great. It's a great system.
Yeah, it's real. And it's nothing new, but it's really handy. I've been using it in my plumbing company for 7 months now, and I don't get late payments anymore.
Are you the only company out there that's running the Greenlight Escrow business out there with that type of
system? Nah. So we got competitors here, but and in Australia, and there's some in the US as well, but they're not really. They're not for techs, or they're not for tradespeople. They're sort of just an escrow system for anything. But I'm trying to build a tradie friendly sort of system that a plumber, HVAC, Sparky can understand and use it day to day. Anyway, I built that thing here and it works here. And I've got quite a lot of interest here. That's why, I started this Amplified Trades Instagram, because I want to meet new people in the US, because my higher level goal now is to come to the US
Mm-hmm.
and hopefully fix a problem with tech or with software over there. But it might not be the same problem. I don't know if you guys have the same problem as we have here. But as I sort of talk to more and more people like yourself, Anthony, I'll get a better picture of that. So my dream's to come over there one day and have a crack at the American dream.
Definitely. Yes. I mean, when do you plan to come to the States?
I mean, so like later in the year or early next year, I've just got to do this. Like, I just got to do the research and talk to a lot of people, make connections, because I don't know anyone there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're nice enough to give me some time out of your day. Like, I really appreciate it. It's really hard to connect with people over there. With, like, when I say, like, I'm a plumber from you, like, the plumbing is the only thing being a plumber is the only thing I've got going for me that's getting my foot in the door to even talk to people. And most people, like, they're just like, who's this dude? Like, what 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 are you on about, bro? So anyway, that's my goal. And just to share my story, sort of starting from getting kicked out of school and getting I've skipped the story, but I got in a heap of trouble over the years and come out.
I think I lost you for a little bit.
Oh,
that's okay.
So I was just that's all good. Yeah.
So you're getting a little bit of trouble, and then you got into the trades, kind of got you out of that, and then you continue to do what you're doing till today, right?
So I was just saying it. Just sort of sharing my story. So hopefully I can influence, the younger people. Say, hey, oh look, this guy's done this with his life and
absolutely
made some moves. So
absolutely,
yeah.
How do you find time to run all these businesses? That's amazing, man. I mean, I gotta hand it to you.
I just sort of like, I've been through that stage of my life and sort of got like not the partying, but just like I just got it, like, those younger years, like I did all the crazy stuff, and now I'm just focused on sort of like trying to help and will give back to the trades community. So just like my family and this driver got to like now try and like fix these problems that gets me out of bed, and it doesn't seem like work. Like it's Sunday here. I know you're on. It's Saturday there for you, but it'll be the same for you doing your podcast. You enjoy it. It takes time, but it doesn't feel like work. So yeah, I mean, put like some weeks I'll do 100 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I'm not on the tools anymore. So like, I'm not fully like work on the tools anymore and try to do all this. I'll just be exhausted.
So you're fully dedicated into what you believe in, what you're doing. Obviously, you have a dream and a goal to continue on and bring it on to the States and connect with other tradesmen out here and build your dream. So that's awesome. Yeah. What advice do you have for someone who's starting in the trades and wants to start a new business?
So someone starting in the trades, I suppose a lot of like times they probably second guess, like, is this the right choice? Like, how far can I go with this? Can I, like if they're younger, like, can I buy a house? Or I don't know. Like, I felt like when I started, I was like, oh, is this the right thing? Is this going to be the best thing? It was sort of the only option I had. But now looking back, like, if I could go back, I'd probably do the same thing. Like, I think the trades are awesome. Like, you can feed your family. Like, the opportunities there, depending how much you put in. But if you're just starting out, man, just turn up, have good manners, good at work ethic. Yeah, and like just those two things alone will get you really far. You don't have to be the brightest person in the room, but you turn up on time, work your butt off. You'll definitely go far. And
Absolutely.
business owners, I don't really feel like I have enough of like I've only been in business 6 years,
Hmm.
so I don't feel like I have enough. Like I don't have my black belt to say, like to start giving people business advice. But I think
Hmm.
if you I always like when people have asked me like, oh, what feel like starting a business, tell them the first thing is just like the first thing you need to do is just come up with a name. Like as soon as you come up with this name for your company, your brain just starts going like. So I always tell them here you just have to register your business, and it's like I think it's like $40 or something. It doesn't cost a lot, but as
Hmm.
soon as you like think of the name for your business and then register your business, like some sort of little magic switch goes off in your head, and you just start thinking about, oh, this could be. And also,
Definitely.
once you register your business in New Zealand, even if you're not in business, um, it will say like you started in 20, like let's say 2019 or whatever. And if you don't
Hmm.
start it for a couple of years, and then if people like you can just say established in 2019, and then people will be like, oh, they've been around for a while, or at least thinking about it. So that'll be probably my advice. And get a like really good accountant, because yeah, it can quickly get out of hand if you don't. I was lucky from day one. Well, something my mum always said. She's like, when you start your business, make sure you get a good accountant. I was like, yeah, whatever, mum, whatever, mum. And then just like started a business, and I needed an accountant, and I was like, oh, I googled, like tradie accountant for like plumbers, and I found a really good one who had actually ended up being a business advisor too. So get a good accountant and try and get someone else who like if you're not paying for them, which I do suggest as well, just try and reach out to someone and or just watch something on YouTube. Yeah,
Definitely work at your idea and your goals for sure.
yeah.
That's great. That's great. So what do you do when you're not, working on your business on your own time? What do you usually do?
Um, play Fortnite.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Some
play a bit of
games.
Fortnite. Yeah, do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
just been doing that for like 6 years now. That
Hmm.
sort of gets if you're having a tough day and you go down there and get humbled, and um, yeah, it's really good for your mental health.
How long have you been doing
Um,
that for?
yeah, just under 6 years now. Yeah, almost 6 years.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
just yeah, just like just casual, like pretty fun.
Hmm.
Um, but it's real good to like clear your mind. So like when you're training on the mats and someone's trying to strangle you, or like bend your arm, yeah, you sort of forget about everything else. It's Yeah, and they really like seems like the jujitsu gyms are real like healthy, health conscious sort of people down there.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's quite a good vibe.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah,
Um, well, what motivates you every day? I mean, to do what you do and work hard.
yeah. I've got this big why. Like now, it's bigger than ever. I'm trying. I want to. I want to help as many tradespeople as I can, and I figure like um, how I'm going to do this is through this software. I'm thinking
Hmm.
it's going to be Greenlight Escrow. Like, I think it's something that would work in the States too.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm still talking to people and doing my research. But yeah, that's my why at the moment, and my kids and my wife. So, but yeah, that gets me out of bed. And the research isn't really research. I just get to talk to cool people like you and connect. I think that's the best way to do it. But yeah, that's it really. Just like a bit of money would be cool one day, but that's not what drives me. Like I've sort of put uh, collectively like about just under $300,000 into building Greenlight Escrow. Um,
Hmm.
I've had some help from our government here and some family, friends, and just put almost $200,000 of my own money in there that I've sort of built up from the plumbing business, doing really well. So blood, sweat, and tears, but yeah, money's not going to like the dream of money is not going to get you out of bed to fix these problems. You like have to legitimately want to help people. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was listening to your last podcast this morning when I was lying in bed, and um, guys there said that they did some HVAC work, or they were in the past for some cannabis
Hmm.
growing sort of factories, or I don't know what you call them. And then what were you going to say?
Yeah, they have a lot of grow houses out here in California, Southern California. Um, a ton of grow rooms and stuff that they need a bunch of equipment and stuff. It's just nonstop out here. It's a
Yeah,
growing, booming business for sure. So it's blown up since it's been legal here.
yeah.
Is it legal
Uh,
where you're at?
Not it sort of is, sort of isn't. Not like it is there. We're like New Zealand's always like my dad always says like we're always 10 years behind. Like so
Hmm.
when something changes in the US, like we won't get a change here for like 10 like could take 10 years. Not necessarily tech, but like
Hmm.
legal systems. I think we've got the same legal system as you guys basically.
Hmm.
But yeah, it will take a while to sort of flow down. But what I picked up on was the guy said that they try and stay away from that work because, or at least the ones they had been working with were quite bad payers. So yeah, it sounds like they've had that problem in the past of worrying if someone's got the money. Yeah,
Yeah, service calls and repairs, it does tend to happen. I know the company he was working for, they had to, stop service until payment was made. And,
yeah,
they rely on the guys to come out and fix their equipment and stuff. And it tends to happen. And,
mm,
you know, it's sad but true. It's part of the business. You wouldn't think it would happen in a big booming business like that, but I'm guessing the money falls short somewhere sometimes,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
start to get rid of their in-house guys and stuff like that, and it tends to happen. It goes into the court, and they lose business or their crops go bad, or you
yeah.
know
They're just trying to survive, right?
yeah,
They
definitely,
don't,
everyone's trying to.
yeah,
I think sometimes, these companies, they try to go a little too big than they can handle, and if they can't handle what they're doing or they fall a little short, they'll try to sell the business and then, pass it on to someone else who has the structure or the money to continue it on. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, definitely, it
Not fair
happens.
for not fair for the little guys like us down the bottom. We go and put
Right.
all our like a week's worth of blood, sweat, and tears, and then invoice, and it doesn't get paid. I was yeah,
Yeah, it
I
happens.
yeah,
Mom, pa, companies, they'll do jobs and they won't get paid, or you know um I'm not sure what the loss is on that or how big the job is, but I've heard it happen before. um you know those people tend to either get away with it depending on how big the job was, or they just lose their business, and they don't ever come back.
yeah,
It's sad, but it happens. When you lose a lot of money like that, it's either going to go to court or something's bound to happen. You're going to have to, run it through and get paid somehow. But yeah, it does happen.
yeah. What
So
So like, so you have your own business, Anthony?
No, I work for a company out here that's pretty well established, and they have their own contracts and stuff that they pull through.
Yeah,
Um, they do a lot of commercial business and refrigeration and in HVAC. So we're
nice.
just continuously knocking them out there, whatever repairs, contracts with maintenances and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
we're always
pretty busy.
running out there, yeah, staying busy. It's nonstop, um so it keeps us happy, and keeps the money flowing, and
Yeah,
we
man.
continue to do this every day, and feed our families, so
Yeah,
it
man.
works out for
Do,
everybody.
so does the company you work for, do they like, do you have a like software on your phone, or is it like manual over there? Like with my guys, I've got this app called Fergus, and I sort of quote the job, like create the jobs in there,
Hmm.
and then they've got the version on their phone where they'll get like a order number, and like they can do their timesheet on site. And do you guys have something like that?
So we have some a little bit of software, as far as um, like clocking in and clocking out. It's like through a little software. Some other companies that I have worked for before had it all in one, where they're
Mm,
quoting out jobs. You quote it out there. I mean, and some of them they get paid on the spot.
yeah, yeah,
It's real quick with some of their software.
yeah,
Again, we usually run the jobs. This company, we run the jobs. We take care of this, the services and the repairs or
yeah,
maintenances, and then pretty much the office pretty much does everything else. We'll send out the information for parts replacements and stuff like that, and our
yeah,
service manager, they all run it down for the quote and send that out, and make sure that the contracts are signed before we do anything else. So
yeah.
that's
Nice.
first and foremost. We don't just do work, up front. There is always a quote sent out, or unless if
Yep.
it's under the contract, then it will be done on site. So,
So
of
all
course,
the work, so all the jobs are quoted.
yeah, pretty much. I mean, there is some spot work, it could be a small job, and it's not really a big
Yeah,
deal. We'll build them later, but I mean, pretty much
yeah,
the companies we work with are established already, so it's not really a big deal. Definitely,
yeah.
I'm
Nice.
sure if it's a new company, um, you know,
Mm,
we make sure that things are properly done before anything goes further. So that's pretty
yeah.
much how it works. But like I said, other companies, they'll run a software and they'll have it all in one. Payment goes through, they'll have payment in the file, and they'll run that automatically same day once the job is done.
Mm,
And of course, I think if it's under a certain, or over a certain amount, definitely I think there's more to it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's
yeah.
say a $25,000 job or something, there's definitely going to be some paperwork included with that. So,
Yeah. So is most of you guys in the commercial, like the commercial sector? Would it be classed as commercial, not residential, or bit of both?
I only do commercial, so on the
Yeah, yeah,
residential
great.
side, I'm not too sure. When I started in the trade, there I did a little bit of residential, not much,
Mm,
but obviously when I got into the commercial trade, I never turned back.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Just definitely where the money's
So,
at is in the commercial trade.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, we never
Hmm.
have problems in the commercial sector.
Hmm.
Green lights for residential, like plumber to homeowner.
Hmm.
Um, which there's a lot of work. Yeah, commercial is always really good, even over here, as
Hmm.
long as you've got the right contract and quote. Um, I was gonna say we are like on the other side of the world, but a little bit the same. I've got all Milwaukee tools as well. I'm
Oh
a
yeah,
yeah, I'm a Milwaukee man.
you got
Um,
the pack outs.
got the pack outs, man. Yeah, I love when the pack outs. Like I couldn't believe when I was still on the tools. Well, here anyway, about 8 years ago, they started popping up, and
Hmm.
man, I was straight into the May when I saw them. I was like, oh, why didn't they come up? Like people used to have like those dollies or like trolleys for like moving boxes.
Yeah.
People used to like sort of like sort of
Stack them up.
stack those up, bungee ties and stuff like that to, and they had this sort of setup, and then I saw it out, I was like, "Wow, that's gold."
Hmm.
Yeah, big fan of the shots. Yeah, although I don't get pulls much anymore, but Milwaukee was was my jam.
Do you guys do a lot of? Do you guys do any press fittings or anything like that over there?
That's what I was going to say too, because I was having a look on your site. Yeah, we as well like press copper. See,
Hmm.
HVAC and the plumbing that I do anyway, like walls and stuff like that, they're different, but they're similar. Like we're not like it's not like you're a Sparky. I mean,
Hmm.
electrician. Um, yeah, you guys have copper bend like copper. Oh, I love bending a bit of copper.
Yeah, we run a lot. Line sets, copper. We work with copper. We do a lot of brazing.
Yeah, yeah,
Depending on what we're doing, but yeah, no, definitely. Especially on split systems. Not more or less on package units. They're all in one, so those are usually just repairs. But um, definitely, if you're
do you
running big jobs, yeah, you're running a
the,
lot of
the
copper, hard copper.
press? Do you like press copper?
Uh,
Or
honestly,
like,
I've seen it. I haven't done it myself.
oh,
The
true.
only,
Yeah,
yeah, I haven't. I've looked into it. It's pretty pricey on my end over here, and I
yeah,
don't,
yeah,
I don't do enough to do press fittings. It's usually brazing or copper fittings. Pretty
yeah,
much nothing really crazy like that. But if I was probably more in the install side, definitely I would be jumping on the press gang for sure.
yeah, yeah. Do you braise here? Like we brazing here, but is your do you have soft solder or something over there?
We
Soldering
have.
sticks soft or hard? Our one's like real hard, rigid
Oh
stick.
yeah, we got like the solder
Oh
sticks.
yeah,
Yeah, the only soft that we use is for like yeah, like plumbing. Like it comes in a roll, the soft
yeah,
solder. We do that time to time for doing drains or something like that. So we don't have
oh
to
yeah,
bring our oxyacetylene unless it's up there. Like I said, with package units, it'll be copper fittings, drainage, and then we'll bring our map gas with some soft solder and the flex paste and just do the drain instead of having to
yeah,
carry
nice,
all your torches up and stuff. It makes the job a lot easier. So
yeah.
mhm.
Do you like apprenticeship for HVAC over there, or is it
We
different sort of
do.
training,
What's that?
or some sort of training like here we have to do um, so many hours and these block courses. Um,
We do pick up a lot of guys that come out of trade school, or
yeah,
or guys that are just ambitious. If they, they're mechanical, they want to join. Usually they'll start off as a parts runner, and they or will load them up as a apprentice and kind of show them the ropes. Usually our guys take off probably within the year. Most of them are are pretty ambitious. I'm going to say, yeah, the majority of them start, running calls, service calls, and jumping into, on-call services and, doing the whole nine.
yeah, nice.
We all try to help one another, definitely, and we all carry each other, whatever it may be. So, and the resources out there are just there's so many, and we do offer training and stuff like that. So, do you guys offer training for your plumbing business over there?
Yeah, sort of to be a plumber as well. You've got to do an apprenticeship. It takes like
Hmm.
5 years or something, 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
So you work full time, and then you go to the like 3 times a year, like a university sort of for plumbers for
Hmm.
like a week block course. Do all this paperwork and stuff like that. Um, yeah, but the beauty is you get that 5 years. You're always working, so you're always getting paid.
Hmm. That's nice.
Yeah,
That's real
yeah,
nice.
works well.
Get to
I
learn
was
the trade and
gonna,
get paid.
yeah, Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like people that are thinking about being a doctor or like going to university,
Hmm.
um, like the one bonus is you get paid while you learn, and over here, end up with student loan. You sort of pay like a weekly. I think it's like $50 a week. It comes out of your pay. So when you get out of your time, you don't have this debt. So,
Oh,
um,
so you don't really have a debt when you get out from school or trade school or something like that? Is that what you're
from
saying?
yeah, well, I mean, like from trade school opposed to like medical school,
Oh, okay.
like same, probably the same there. If you want to train to be a doctor and go to med school, you'll come out with a massive student loan,
Hmm.
and then you sort of got to do your way with that. But with trades over here, you so it's a good option um, to get ahead.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Even getting certified and just, out here with the techs, you can get certification. There's some programs you can do online or, uh, community college. They'll have some programs where you can run through
mm,
and get certified and then get your EPA certification. And most companies out here will definitely take you on, if you're willing to learn. Like again,
yeah,
that's kind of the foot in the door type deal. And you work your way up. And like I said, if you're ambitious, you can get into the service field pretty quick here. Depending on what you want to do.
mm,
So
mm,
it's fairly quick, and then they also have the trade schools too. So, I've heard other techs who had went through the whole trade school,
yeah,
um, and they come out in debt, still paying
yeah, yeah.
their debt on their trade school. So, I mean, it happens,
Mm.
but
I've question for you.
sure.
Um, are the houses in Southern California insulated, like between the walls, like from the or the outside? Are
Yes,
they
yes,
insulated?
yes,
You
yes.
know, New Zealand is so backwards, cold here in the winter.
Hmm.
Um, the houses here aren't insulated. They are now, but
Hmm.
like older houses aren't. Like most people in New Zealand are living in a house that's uninsulated,
Oh,
and
wow.
only yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So even like my jiu-jitsu coach, Brazil's hot as, and
Uh-huh.
even the houses there are insulated. And he came here, lives here now, and he goes, "You guys are, what is wrong with you? None of your houses are insulated. No double glazing. They've only just started, like for like someone who owns a house and wants to rent it out to someone. They've only
Hmm.
just started making them insulate areas where you can get access to, like under the floor or in the, and making people put in like a HVAC system or like an air conditioning unit.
Right.
Like, but it's yeah, it's really crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's what I said. Like New Zealand's like all behind.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, wow is exactly the like the houses are all the houses I grew up like just ice cold. Like you might as well be sleeping outside.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we would survive out here if the houses weren't insulated. The we get a little bit of a cold season here somewhat, but in the summertime we're hitting about 120 plus out here in Southern California.
Yeah,
um, you know, and other states as well. I'm sure Arizona and Nevada are the other
mm,
closest states to us, and they hit pretty high too. Texas as well. And the humidity is just crazy. I've been in Texas over there, and that humidity is wild. So yeah,
yeah,
it's definitely it's a necessity out here for sure,
yeah.
and all
Um,
the new developments.
I was gonna like another thing I sort of been picking up on, or maybe when I've been talking to people over there, are
Hmm.
people still paying in check, like with checks? Is that a thing or not
What
really
is
common?
that?
Like
I'm
paying,
sorry.
like writing a check. Writing a check. Are people still doing that there?
Um, you still get that time to time. You'll have that, uh, the older customer that'll write out a check, or
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah, it happens, or
But not.
try to.
It's not common.
Not anymore. I mean, I'm sure it is. Sometimes it's not much of a big deal, but yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure checks get written out here and there. I mean, it's just like money. You don't really see money anymore. Currency, people are always just
Cash.
using their debit card.
Yeah,
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 cash, unless you're going to the casino or something to gamble,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. I mean, I rarely
Yeah.
carry cash anymore.
Okay.
People
So
are
you're the
paying
same.
things with their phones now.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Same,
So
same. So same as here. I had some weird picture of just still cash and check over there. I don't know. It was something someone said, but
I mean, you'll run into it sometimes. It's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's not rare, but it is rare. So I mean, like I said, you'll have the older customers that'll write you out a check, or cash, which is uh,
yeah,
rarely seen anymore. But you know,
yeah.
it still pays. So
Is there any other like? Because I'm not fully focused on fixing one problem. Is there any other problems in the industry, um, like the trades industry that you hear about talking to different people? Like one that comes to mind, like just doesn't have to be payments. It doesn't have to be software. Is there another like day to day issue where you're like, oh, I wish that was better? Not off the top of your
as
head.
far as being in the trade,
Mm. Like your
or
day to
you
day, like your day to day, like sort of workflow. If that's
um, other than the traffic,
trash.
and gas prices. But I don't worry
Yeah,
about the gas prices. Our company takes care of that. But
yeah, yeah.
um, you know, not really. Everything pretty much flows pretty easy out here.
Mm,
Once
mm.
you're in the business, word of mouth travels really good if you're a good company out
Yep,
here.
yep.
People will recommend you.
Mm,
And there's plenty of money for everybody. There's
yep.
not a company that I've known that started and fell off. Maybe they
Oh
have,
yeah,
but
yeah.
most companies that start, they grow pretty quickly. I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
the first 5 years are pretty tough.
Mm,
Even the first year, obviously, I've heard of companies that lost $1 million their first year, and that was just on payroll.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it could be anything, but uh, you seem like a pretty ambitious person. If you were to come to the States, I think you would be very successful for sure.
Yeah. New Zealand's really tiny. Eh? Do you know? Like, there's only 5 million people in the whole country. It might be a little bit more than that now. But the city
Hmm.
I live in is only 1.5 people. Like it's
1.5
yeah,
in
it's
your
tiny.
city. Oh
Yeah,
wow, wow.
biggest. That's the biggest city in New Zealand.
Hmm.
Like, because how many in is it? Like California is like 27 million or something.
Oh yeah, we got people
Crazy.
leaving and moving in. It just yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
daily. It never stops. So
yeah.
um,
I've
yeah.
actually been there before. My dad, he was working on some like movie stars house. I don't know who it is exactly, but I was about 12 and my brother was 11, and he got float. So this guy visited New Zealand.
Hmm.
They met somehow, and then he said, "Oh, this big house in LA, and I want you to come do like this internal spy." So he flew my dad over for like 3 months.
Hmm.
Might have been longer, but my dad just saved all his money and then flew me and my brother over there. Six Flags,
Oh,
Magic,
Magic Mountain. Yeah, Six
Magic Mountain.
Flags.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it was school holidays. It was school holidays because that's why we came over at the time. But
Hmm.
the lines were like crazy. It was like I'm sure like one was like almost 2 hours. This one ride.
Yeah, nothing's changed. That's still the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
But now
I've been.
they got smart, and they sell you a pass to get you the front of the line.
Oh,
It's less of a wait, but you
costs
got to
more.
pay the money. Yeah,
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 VIP.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So so like, that's why I haven't. That's why I'm trying to talk to people in California,
Mhm.
because I got a little connection being there. I don't remember much, but yeah,
Yeah, definitely. You is that where you plan to come to when you come to the states, or do you have a
yeah.
location in mind?
Not nowhere in mind, but that California's the state, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
definitely California. Um, somewhere where it's cold all the time. If I'm going to come over there, don't really want to be hanging out in snow. Yeah,
Well, you
somewhere
can get
a bit warmer.
a lot of heat out here in the summertime. Spring's really nice.
Yeah, yeah,
If you want to hit the snow, that would probably be in the mountains. We got some really nice mountains out here. You can hit some slopes on and enjoy the snow, and then drive, back down into the valley or the city and enjoy the weather just as good.
yeah. Nice.
It's not anything too
I
crazy
see.
as far as snowing in the cities or anything like that. Just it's all mountain
Yeah, yeah.
woods area. So
But yeah, as opposed to like Texas or New York or where else, I think uh, yeah, California will be a good starting place. And there's so many people there, like 20, 7 million compared to 1.5 here. Um,
yeah, there's plenty here. Yep.
yeah, plenty of people to meet. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, if you ever come to the states in California, yeah, holler at me, man. Yeah,
yeah,
and if I can help you out in any way, I'd be glad to.
yeah. I
Uh,
appreciate it.
yeah, definitely. Thanks for stopping by. It was awesome having you on board and on the podcast and telling your story. I wish you great success, and let's link up again. I want to hear your journey on the next round and see how it goes.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Yeah, again, I appreciate you just giving me some time because it's been really hard to connect with people over there. So, yeah, thank you. And yeah, I'll give you an update. Maybe I'll keep in touch on Instagram and we'll see where I am. Um,
Definitely.
become one day. Go.
Sounds great. All right, Max. Well, we'll talk to you again and keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right. Till next
Cheers.
time, everyone. Bye.
See ya.